Back in the day, roller skating was the perfect date. A nice leisurely stroll to some laid-back disco tunes. But now, it's going in a different direction. I'd like to introduce you to the Deathbridge Derby Dames. This group of gals have waited a long time for the roller derby craze to hit Lethbridge, and now that it's here, they're itching to tie up the skates and strap on the pads.
I got into it because I've always been a roller skater since I've been a little girl, and I had the classic figure skating derby skates. Even a couple years ago, before Derby came to Lethbridge, I was roller skating around Henderson Lake and Nicholas Sharon. And so when I found out that Derby was starting in Lethbridge, I thought, that's perfect. I love roller skating, so it was a good fit for me.
It's something that women of all shapes, sizes, ages can play. It doesn't matter if you've had no previous experience ever on roller skates or ever playing any athletic sports. It's still something that it's easy to break into. So it's only been around and kind of had its rebirth in the past about 5-6 years.
The nice thing about this crazy league, experience or no experience, anyone can play.
If I wanted to do a community sport, baseball, basketball, anything like that, and I go in the community and want to join, most of the people playing the sport have been playing their whole lives. They play all through university, college, etc. So there's definitely that huge skill level disadvantage. But if you want to get in roller derby, it's only been around for a few years, so it's easy to kind of advance really quickly in it.
We have a spot if you're tall, short, skinny, wider, there's a position and a spot for you in derby, which makes it so amazing and so different from other conventional sports. You don't have to be a full athlete to really join derby.
But you've got to be tough as nails, and these girls are exactly that.
My first thought was, could I be able to handle the hits? And I think that's a lot of people's big concern. But then getting into it, I realized that it wasn't all about the big bone-crushing hits. There's a lot of strategy and more just getting in people's way than, throwing a shoulder into somebody else.
Tough day at the office? Well, for these derby dames, this is a great way to let off some steam.
It's a blast. It's a rush. It's an amazing stress reduction tool. You come here, you bounce a couple girls around, definitely helps wear off some of that stress that you're having.
A friend of mine once gave me a piece of advice I'll never forget. He said, "You look good, you play good." Well, obviously these girls have heard that saying before as well.
That's the fun side of derby. When roller derby started, it was mostly all theatrics. It was the original roller derby or roller jam or anything that a lot of people have seen was kind of the same as wrestling on skates. So we still like to keep that kind of fun theatrical element.
Everybody has their own personal style. I'm more of the bare-legged kind of skater. There's some other girls that do the 80s retro look. Some girls only wear animal prints. Everybody has their own derby style and kind of mixes it in. It's so fun because what other sport do you get to really express yourself in fashion and then play a sport as well?
Cherry Blaster, I gotta ask you, what's up with these crazy derby names?
Well, they can show your personality, they can show what you do for a living, they can show your physical appearance, and you get to pick your name and then create a whole derby personality behind it. It's a lot of fun.
How did you come across your name?
It was actually a suggestion of my husband's because all through college I ate cherry blasters. I lived on them, and when we were thinking of derby names, my first choice was actually taken by another derby girl in Vancouver, and you're not allowed to have similar names to other people. So he said, well, what about Cherry Blaster? I'm like, oh, that kind of says speed, and it's kind of cute and sassy and fun, so it just kind of stuck with me.
Okay, now, ever since I thought of this derby idea, it's been driving me crazy. I can't come up with a nickname. Looking at me, I know I'm not maybe the athletic type, but what kind of name would you give me?
Well, looking at you got kind of the GQ jacket going on, you got the GQ hair. I would probably say Brad Pitt of hell.
Wow. I'll take that. Why are you thinking that? Just because?
Just because the hair and the GQ look, and you have a very Brad Pitt feel going on, and then you have to have some badness to it, so you got the pit of hell in there.
There you go. You just made my entire night. Thank you. Let the transformation begin. Dan Clovis by day and Brad Pitt from hell by Derby. Let's go give this a try. Well, I am terrified right now. I'm gonna give this a try. Never done this before. Played hockey my whole life. This is a completely different area for me. So, oh boy, this could be interesting. First off, I had to get a rundown of all the rules. So do I just follow the pack?
Yeah, you'll just get in the middle. It'll be easy to follow.
Just follow the pack, I said. Well, turns out there's a little more to it than that. Oh boy.
So you're just gonna get in the middle.
Okay, I'm just in the middle? All right. I'm fragile, okay? I'm terrified right now. I'm trailing so far behind right now. Oh! After the first trip around, I realized what I got myself into. I'm doing this. As much as I loved being part of the pack, these girls thought it'd be a good idea for me to try out the jammer position. These are the two trailers of the pack who try and bust through the group and pass their opponents, which is how a point is scored. Oh, nice pick! Nice pick! Nice pick! Nice pick! That was a good hit. Turns out this is the position that takes the most contact. And boy, did I ever learn that the hard way. The last position I had to try was the referee job. Good news, no contact. Bad news, I had no clue what I was doing. Good effort. Clean hit. Look at clean hit. Tactical. You're out. Technical. Technical foul. Good. Look at that pick. Legal screen. Legal screen. Yeah. Nice and tight, pack. Good job. Good job. No idea and no whistle. Oh! So after all was said and done and body checked, I got a nice sympathy applause from the girls. You're the fastest girl ever! And of course, topped off the night with an old-fashioned high five. That was unreal.
That was pretty good.
Well, what can I say? That was exhausting, but totally worth it. I had a ton of fun. I'd like to thank these girls for having me out to their practice and showing me some of the rules of this sport. It was crazy. It was crazy. These girls are super athletes, so you know, I tip my hat or my helmet to them. They're wicked girls. So they're always looking for people to come and join. So if you're feeling the need to give it a try like me, then definitely come out and do it. It'll be totally worth it. I promise you. For Shaw TV, I'm Dan Clovis.
Okay.